We've had a hot and a sunny start to the working week, but we may well be seeing more rains come Wednesday. Meanwhile, we haven't seen the end of the rains from Harvey out there in the United States. Looking at the satellite picture, you can just pick out there's one trough just out there, and then there's a tropical wave further out, but it is being hampered by some Saharan dust. But it is this trough that is set to make inroads across the Caribbean by the time we get to late on Tuesday, going into Wednesday, and bringing quite a bit of rainfall up towards Barbados. But for Tobago, you'll notice a bit of the cloud beginning to slip through as you go through the morning. A few of the showers expected coming across the hills of Mason Hall, coming down towards Buku and Keenan as well. But there will be some spells of sunshine in between that cloud, so you will feel hot at times as well. For Trinidad tonight, mostly clear night, especially towards the central and southern areas. Along the northern range, however, there will be a bit of cloud and moisture pushing through. This will likely produce some showers just after midnight and going into the early part of the morning. And then into the afternoon, that daytime heating may well spark some showers, especially along that northwestern peninsula of Trinidad. Down to along the Gulf of Paria into the southwestern peninsula, you'll notice the clouds beginning to build over San Fernando, and then a few showers are coming by during the afternoon, which is normal for this time of the year when you tend to get those light winds. So in terms of the temperatures then, it will be a warm night, no lower than 25 degrees Celsius in Trinidad, and looking at highs of possibly 35 in Trinidad tomorrow and a 32 in Tobago. Now on Wednesday, the temperatures will take a nosedive, 30 degrees Celsius, so it will still feel steamy at times with the moisture, but you will definitely see some more rains in there and the possibility of some thunder showers as well before conditions brighten through Friday. And similarly for Trinidad, you'll see those clouds coming through on Wednesday, all courtesy of that low-level trough, bearing in mind that most of the rains should be pushing towards the north through Barbados and St. Vincent. But for those heading offshore, it's still a moderate breeze out there, small waves for the most part, but you will be seeing some white crests as well from time to time, courtesy of those winds, and looking at a slight to moderate chop, 1.5 to possibly pushing 2 meters further out in the Atlantic. Now there is Harvey, you can just see it here, it's just drifting along the coastline, but it is the rain bands ahead of it that are set to bring further impacts, not only for Texas, but spreading all the way across into Louisiana and along the Gulf of Mexico as well. Obviously, we've been talking about rainfall in feet, not necessarily in inches, and that will continue as they go through the midweek as well. And Harvey is not yet done as it pushes into the middle states as we get towards the latter half of this week. Meanwhile, there's another disturbance. You can just see it here. This are pushing towards the north of Florida along the eastern seaboard. That will likely bring some downpours all along the eastern areas of the United States. And it may well be called Irma by the time we get to later on Tuesday, possibly early on a Wednesday, as it goes over some very warm waters of the Gulf Stream there. But for the rest of the Caribbean, it's mostly settled. There are a couple of tropical waves in there. One we're picking out right there in Jamaica, and the other one heading towards Puerto Rico. And in between there's a bit of moisture around, so that eventually will push into the Dominican Republic and Haiti, and then eventually we'll get into Jamaica as well by the end of the week. So at least for Tuesday, Jamaica should be partly cloudy, 33 degrees Celsius, but the thunder will roll into Santo Domingo as we get through Tuesday and eventually push into Haiti by Wednesday. And for the Eastern Caribbean, the arrival of that low-level trough will begin to make its presence felt, especially towards the north. A few of those showers coming through St. Kitts and St. John's. And then eventually down towards Barbados, you will eventually see all of that sunshine disappear on a Tuesday, replaced by some thick clouds and possibly some thunder showers come Wednesday for Barbados, and then eventually across many parts of the Windward Islands. So that's your weather, and that's it from me.